following is a Live the Dream Media production.
Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the local Marana live broadcast, live stream podcast, you name it. We're back together here in the room together.
It seems weird from time to time. We haven't done this in a while.
It's been a minute.
Sitting across the table.
I can't even remember the last time.
Yeah. And yet we talk all day long, so
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah, I know how we sit here like just get lost in just these conversations for a while and have a good time. But no, it feels good to be back. We know you want to talk about some stuff going on here in the neighborhood, which it's the beginning of the high school football season.
Yeah.
And the Marana Tigers did something. They broke a streak for a program here in Tucson. I don't want to get it all into it because we're going to let Raul talk about it. So Raul, who now is the host of Southern Arizona Sports Talk, which is another program out of Live the Dream Media Studios, is going to be in studio Friday with Coach Philip Stewart of the Marana High School football team. And he's going to have a conversation with him about the big win and what's going on at the program and what they're looking forward to doing this year. Raul told me one thing about the Marana High School football team, and he said the defense is nasty. He said it is just something to be reckoned with. And,
Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships. Yeah. Did you watch the UVA game at all this weekend?
I did not.
Yeah. Ugh. It was a struggle. It was a struggle bus for a little bit.
A lot of points.
Yeah,
for both sides.
That's bad.
For both sides, yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, the receiver had broke a record and stuff like that." I'm like, "Look, that's cool."
What
but
do you have, like 800 receiving yards? No, 300 and some.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? That's not a good thing always because that means that the fact that you had to do those kind of numbers to win the game is like, come on.
I also want to mention that Raul is going to preempt local Marana next Wednesday. We got a special guest with Southern Arizona Sports Talk with Andy Lopez.
Yeah, so next Wednesday, there's going to be a programming change. Local Marana will not be on Wednesday morning. It's going to be the Southern Arizona Sports Talk, and it's going to be with Raul interviewing Hall of Famer Andy Lopez.
Good
How
dude.
cool is that?
Yeah,
Way to go,
very cool.
Raul. Raul's here with us. He's in the room today. He's in the we call it the locker.
He's pushing the buttons.
Yeah.
He's in the meat locker. Where you at there, Raul?
Yeah, show your face. Hit that director button on that deck over there. There he is. Yeah.
Making that my debut in director's booth today.
Yeah, you went from host to director. It's not a demotion. It's actually a promotion.
Yeah.
So if anybody says, "Oh man, you had to run the show," you literally run the show. So if anybody's wondering how it works here, the director's box is the spot. You're actually the captain of the ship is what we actually call it.
Got all the toys.
All the toys. Tools. You're running the whole thing. You're keeping track of when the ads got to go and so much more. Today we don't have the phone connected, so we're not taking phone calls today. But if you want to join in today on the chat, you can. We're going to go jump in there on Instagram. So if you got to say anything or you have anything on your mind, you have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to do so.
Hey, real quick about Raul, superstar in the making. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This guy has come on board, 3 weeks ago? Is that roughly correct, Raul? I know you've done a couple of shows, but you've been here a little longer than that. And
I've been here about 3 weeks now. And like I said, I'm living the dream working with you guys. I appreciate everything you're
he's
doing
already
for me.
coached up.
Yeah, he's got the verbiage down.
Yeah.
So he came as an intern. And he came up to us. He said, "Hey, I want to work here. How do I get in here?" And we're like, "We got an internship."
And not only that, but he's been selling ads like crazy.
Yeah, he's been making some money.
Making a little money. Got a payday today. I understand. Is that correct?
He did.
Little money hit the wire.
He did.
Yeah, if you see Raul out at a local football game or sporting event, very approachable. Unless he's on camera, run up, say hey to him because you're going to see a whole bunch of him.
Yeah.
Starting now.
And follow, if you can, on social media, Southern Arizona Sports Talk on Instagram and Facebook. You'll be able to catch everything he's up to on there.
Yeah, good dude.
All right,
welcome to the team, Raul.
Yeah, welcome, man. Now, let's talk about the fall, right? So everybody here, this is my opinion on pumpkin spice, okay? We need to calm down with that. right? You can't let that out of the vault until we get through this 110-degree weather here.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all got excited. We're like, pumpkin spice, it's great. Here we are again at 105 degrees. I'm just saying a recommendation. Why don't we just wait till fall? Why do we gotta? I feel like it gets easy. It gets earlier every year.
For me personally, I've said it numerous. Fall does not start in. First, I'll skip the pumpkin spice ever. I'm not.
You're not a pumpkin spice guy?
Fan at all.
Oh,
not at all. I love pumpkin. Don't get me wrong. I can eat my fair share of pumpkin pie with some serious whipped cream on. I can tear it up.
Yeah.
But when you're talking drinks and stuff, no, absolutely not. But I'm not a sweet drinker. I don't drink sodas. I drink two things. You know what they are, David? You know what they are. Black coffee and Perrier, or some derivative of Perrier. Right now, I got Pellegrino in the little 7-ounce bottles that are in my refrigerator now. That's one drink. I'm like,
you sound like an affluent cowboy. I drink black coffee in the morning, but then I drink Perrier in the middle of the day.
That is what but that's what I drink. I don't drink sodas and. But at pumpkin spice. But my official day in my head, summer starts June 1st, if not May 15th, and it runs till November or October 15th. That's just, it's 135 days of summer in the desert. That's my summer. I know it's not on the calendar that way, and it's not a law, so no one has to follow it. But you know as well as I do, it's warm way up until mid to late October.
Right.
In Tucson.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, they're still 110. I was in Phoenix over the weekend. They're still 110, 111 degrees. And the air conditioner does not work at Chase Field, by the way.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's rough.
So did they have the top closed?
No, it's closed, but it
didn't.
It's brutal.
Oh,
no, I'm
man.
serious.
Oh, wow.
I mean, spend some money, somebody. I mean, Kendrick's, get that air conditioner fixed up there, man.
Holy cow.
It's brutal.
That's rough. Yeah, I went to Williams, Arizona this weekend.
What was the temperature? I didn't ask you.
So the hottest it got was 75. 75. We went to Arizona, and that day it was overcast, and it was 73 degrees. It was beautiful. So if you're looking, I mean, just going up north. It was crazy, though, the traffic. So a 4-hour trip turned into 7 hours on the way up on Friday before Labor Day.
What was the advice I gave you, David?
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't go on holidays.
Don't go on holidays.
Right, ever. Go the week after. They're glad to see you. There's no one there.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to wait in lines.
Yeah.
That's just an old person talking.
Yeah,
but I don't do the holidays anymore.
Yeah, we made it work. You know, thankfully the kids had a good time in the car.
We did that when our kids were riding in car seats.
There's something about, going into parenting. There's something about the freedom you get when you have your kids in the car seat and you're driving. It's like a time where you and the wife can, talk a little bit and put on some music, and the kids are hanging out, and our kids reach across to each other and they're doing stuff. So, but it's like they're contained. Yeah. Because otherwise the house is just ripping stuff off the shelves, just running around, tackling each other. The whole 9.
Well, I've always said you're in charge as a parent until you can no longer pick them up and move them. Once you can't pick them up and move them anymore, now you've kind of lost some of your power, if you are, authority as a parent, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when they get the keys to the car, that's a total game changer.
I don't even want to think about that.
Well, you're a little ways away from that.
But. Yeah. So if you're watching today or you're a parent, what are some things that you enjoy doing to get a little bit of freedom? I'm not talking about separating or getting a babysitter. I'm just talking about what can you do? Is it the road trip thing? Do we all agree it's that? That's a good way of doing things. Or the park? Yeah, park's another good one. Kids go run around. And
I'd be curious what our listening viewing audience has to say about that, because Tammy, when we were raising 2 children, they're both grown, of course, now, but I only remember getting a babysitter. They'd hang out with grandma once in a while, but we took our kids. If we couldn't take our kids where we were going, we just didn't go. Our philosophy was we had children, don't expect someone else to raise them, and that includes daycare. I'm sure that some of our audience knows the story. I won't get into it now, but Tammy ran a preschool when our kids were born, to avoid sending our kids to preschool. We did the math, and it made more money, it made more sense. And my wife's a teacher, for her to actually start a preschool, and she ran it during the period of time that both of our children were in what we would call preschool age. And it was a preschool, not a nursery. There was structure to it. And she made more money running that than she would have if she had went and got a job.
Yeah.
So, but we took our kids everywhere. So I'd be interested to know what our viewing audience, what kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? What do you guys do, especially when you got your kids with you?
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you take your kids with you, isn't that fun? Don't you build memories and things when you're out at Arizona or wherever?
Yeah. No, yeah, it was great. No, I let Raylyn, she sat on my lap because you go real slow through Arizona.
You posted a picture of that.
Because she could see better, it sits up higher. And
Yeah.
She's always wanted to drive.
How's
She
your
has
wife?
to drive all
Is
the
your
time.
wife okay with that?
Yeah.
Because my
she's very
wife would be like, Clint, what we doing?
I'm like, hey, as long as we got the gas pedal, we got the pedals, we're okay. I'm stronger than her on the wheel.
Yeah.
But she did good. I'd be like, hey, turn this way, and she would turn the wheel. So she's always asking to drive, and I keep telling her, oh, you just have a couple more years.
Oh,
you know? She's only 30.
No, I always stuck them up there.
Yeah, that was great.
The minute they could, sit up there.
So Clint, you are the man in town that
Do you think?
people call, the mayor of Sun Creek Plaza. For people that don't know where Sun Creek Plaza is, it's Old Father and Ina.
Yeah.
And, people like to talk to you about stuff going on and things that are happening, things that are coming. And I'm not trying to give away anything that anybody else would, but I just wanted to check in with you and see what's going on these days. Is there any updates on stuff coming, things going? What do you got?
No,
Nothing you want?
It's kind of been. Are you steering me towards something?
No, I'm not. I know it's been
I
know that it's been the summer, so a lot of people are on vacation, so we don't get a lot of news per se. The news we get is the usual standard BS you get from the
This summer's been a little
media,
different for us because we've dealt with a lot of personal stuff. So I'm not out like I used to be. And plus, it's really been hot. But I do know this. Here's one breaking news.
Here we go.
Here's one breaking news.
That's what we were aiming for.
We got a new baby in the neighborhood. I can't think of his name right now, but Daniel's guy over here.
Blueprint Home Services.
If you got roofing needs, that's your contact, Daniel Romero. But they got a brand new baby, and he was so excited. First one.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been off for a couple of weeks. I'm like, where you been? He's like, having a baby. And I'm like, that is so cool. I am the self-proclaimed and recently retired mayor of Sun Creek Plaza. At one point, I used to shake it up around here.
You still do?
Yeah, I do.
Don't deny that.
Yeah. No, nothing really. Like I know the pumpkin patch is prepping real hard. They're going to be open a month from today. I also know that, and I let this slip through the cracks. We have a couple of meetings this afternoon. Today at the Veterans Memorial Cemetery, they are honoring Paul Marsh, who passed away recently. Christopher DeSimone, who will be in a little later, is hosting that, and he was very instrumental in the construction and development of that cemetery memorial place out there, and donated by the Kai family, and that's happening today. I didn't put it down for some reason. I was planning on going, but I know Mayor Ed is going to speak there.
Okay.
I know the Mayor Ed and several members of the council have been at the League of Towns.
Yeah.
I won't get into all the conversations, but there's a lot of really cool conversations going on amongst other towns. And here was a reference point. Our buddy Armando Carrillo, his sister Laura Durrell is the mayor of Clifton.
Oh, really?
And I noticed her and Tom Murphy, mayor of Salrita.
Okay.
And Terry Rosema, town manager of Marana, and Ed in a picture together. And I'm like, Ed, if you happen to bump into Laura, give her a shout out. She's because they obviously had bumped into each other because they were in a picture together.
Yeah. So what is the League of Towns for the listeners? A lot of them probably aren't going to know what that is. So what is that?
I don't know specifically. We'll get Ed on here, but it doesn't look like it's of the big cities. Like I didn't see anyone represented from Tucson
That's
or
probably
Phoenix
a good
there, but I saw a whole group of people that represent smaller cities like Clifton, Wickenburg, places like that, and they get together once a year and just share notes. I know Juan Ciscomani actually was in the picture.
Oh, really?
So that was where the picture actually originated from. They were all together, and you know why I love that? I love that even though Arizona is a huge state, it's geographically, we don't have that many cities, especially and towns, especially outside of Phoenix and Tucson.
Yeah,
there's only 16 counties in the state. But to see them all get together in the same room for a few days, I think that's huge, because I know the relationship that Ed Honey and Tom Murphy at Sahuarita, the mayors there, have. I've seen it play out numerous times. As a matter of fact, we're going to be in a meeting a little later today of the result of some of their conversations that benefited the whole region.
Right.
I'm talking specifically about the Marana Food Bank,
right,
which is now part of Sahuarita Food Bank. Shared some of their talent and skilled people to help us in Marana when we had a big problem.
Yeah.
So that's great to have that common bond and people talking to each other. It's huge.
It's important. That's a key thing for innovation, stuff I've learned.
Conversation, communication's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. I went to last year. I'm going to be going next week. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to the Crime Stoppers conference again. And, so I'm on the board of 88 Crime. And what it is it's an anonymous way for people to report stuff where they don't have to worry about their identity being given out or anything like that. And if you want to learn more, go to 88crime.org. But anyways, we go to a conference in different parts of the U.S. This year. We're going to Indianapolis.
Motor City.
Yeah, I've never been there, which is great.
Circle City.
But, I went there for the first time last year. I'm still a rookie. I'm just finished my first year on the board.
Where was that, in Denver, right?
It was in Denver, yeah. And one thing that I could just feel was energy and the excitement to share ideas. Like I remember often that after our sessions, groups would stay behind and just discuss more because they heard a point during one of the presentations or a question was answered, right? And everybody would just stay and just keep discussing, like, hey, how do we be better? How do we do things this way? And it was really cool to see because the organization we have here had a lot to give. Right, like as far as information and how to do things, because we found out the organization here is probably one of the better, healthier non-for-profits that are doing this, and it's great. And we picked up things. I don't want that. Yeah. And there were some social media folks there. One of them was famous. I'm not going to throw out his name on the podcast and stuff, but it was like I didn't expect it at all to see this person, and I got to sit and talk to him.
Yeah.
And just learn from them, and like just key little pointers and stuff that I was like, I didn't think about that, and you come away from that. So like knowing that the towns and stuff are doing that, everybody's got a little bit of something to offer.
Because so often I've done a lot of conventions and stuff over the years. So often, it's just glad heading each other. Everybody. And I've seen a lot of that, but. Ed called me Friday night. The mayor Ed called me, and we talked about a lot of things because Ed and I are buddies. We see each other and talk to each other a lot, and just excitement in his voice of things and people he'd spoke to. And again, I'm not going to get into the specifics or anything because they're really not that important for what we're discussing. But you could just tell the energy was there. There were people from different communities sharing ideas and knowledge. And you and I talk about it all the time. I mentioned it a while ago about something I'd read. It didn't pertain to anything you and I are really doing, nothing that's specific to what we're doing. And yet you can learn so much from other people,
right? Even
if it's not directly related to what your knowledge, what your lane is, for the lack of a better word.
Absolutely. But hey, you know what? We're going to get back on that. We need to go to ad break.
We're going to pay some bills.
Raul, if you want to get us to those ads so we can pay some bills, we appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
There is a lot of digital marketing and digital advertising agencies throughout the US. I see a new one pop up every day. But we stand out because of our community impact, our client relationships, delivering and doing what we say. That's a key thing, right? A lot of places will tell you, hey, we're going to do this. They don't communicate to you. We're in communication with you. You're going to always get that real small business feel from us. You're going to have ways to contact us, ask us questions, right? Because we want you to do better, but we want to be better every day as well. And we're always innovating. We're always coming up with new ideas, new ways to win, applying for new platforms, and even creating some of our own platforms is some of the stuff we have going forward. So I would say that's what sets us apart.
Hey, welcome back. So, Instagrammers, we're live on Instagram now. We didn't push the button to go live earlier, but if you missed anything, feel free to go to the podcast later in the day or
Sorry, you're
YouTube.
not qualified for the $10,000 we gave away.
We missed the $10,000 giveaway we had on Instagram. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen, but we thought we'd jerk your chain a little bit. But we're on here now. So if you're on Instagram, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate all of you that watch and participate and share local Marana stuff.
It's pretty cool.
It's really, really cool. And I just want to shout out a couple listeners. I know Corey Peralt was on. He had left a comment.
Corey!
Yeah, he was talking about Chase Field.
Yeah.
And then 857 Tucson.
Yeah.
The crime I think they're like crime watchers or something.
Yeah.
They do all kinds of cool stuff. He's on saying good morning.
Corey's my buddy from way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
Way back.
Way back.
So we were talking about towns and innovation and getting together and sharing ideas and all that stuff. And education's important.
Yeah.
And there's a topic I wanted to talk about today about education. And it involves TikTok. Again, here we are, the social media trend that has gone bad, right? Well, over the last week or so, there was a post that went out on TikTok sharing that there was a glitch at Chase Banks. That if you go and you write a check, deposit it to your account, it'll clear some of it to you, and you can withdraw that cash. Even if you don't have that amount, they'll take the check and they'll give you a percentage of it before it clears. So this went around, and
so I started running a Chase, opening new accounts.
So a bunch of people started going and committing fraud, writing bad checks, and taking out money out of their bank accounts, thinking that it was like Chase was like, "Oh yeah, here you go." Like, well, oh, you got us, or we'll forget about it. No worries. Yeah. There's some folks that put themselves like $90,000 in debt.
Yeah, stop it.
Into their negative $99,000 in their bank account, thinking that was gonna just disappear. So we talk about education. We talk about education, right? You think about this scenario and what happened here. You sold it under the guise of, oh yeah, it's just a glitch, right? To these younger folks. They don't cover this in school.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's beyond it should be covered, obviously, but that's beyond that, though, David. That's just, you got to do the right thing all the time, not just when it's convenient or someone's watching.
Yeah.
There's no free lunch. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of folks thought that there was.
Yeah,
and, a lot of the media outlets ended up doing articles on this stuff. And Chase actually made a statement and was like, yeah, we're coming to get you. And some of you are going to face criminal penalties for it. And I'm like, that's felony activity, guys. What are we doing? But that's the thing with with social media is you gotta vet everything that comes by. You know what I mean?
Something came up the other day. I saw it. I won't. Yeah, I'll say what, because it's no big deal. A friend of mine posted, and there's nothing in this statement that I wouldn't agree with 100%.
Right.
And it was a quote that's attributed to John Wesley. And for anyone that doesn't know, and probably there's a lot of people, John Wesley and his brother, whose name I forget right now, but they were basically the founders of the Methodist religious faith. Okay. And there's this post floating around. And it's a good friend of mine posted it, and I'm like, I don't remember, because my dad was a big fan of John Wesley, and I don't remember that. Well, I got to investigating it. Yeah, he didn't write that. It's taken from a lot of his writings. Mm-hmm. It's some of his viewpoints, and it was written by a person in a church that John Wesley had built in England.
Okay,
but this is something John Wesley lived in the 1700s. This was produced in 2017. Okay. I don't think it takes away the effect or the importance of the message, but John Wesley didn't write that. I'm a nerd when it comes to that stuff. When my wife will say, "Hey, did you hear?" I'm like, "What's your source?" I need at least 3 solid sources from varying viewpoints before I'm going to accept it. Mm-hmm. That's why I say read. People, read. Yeah. Read everything, even if you don't agree with what you're reading or know that publication or that if it's slanted in a direction that you still got to read it. Mm-hmm. Because if I read three different sources from 3 different viewpoints, right, mm-hmm. and I see the same thing starting to pop up in each one of them, right? Yeah. You know what? There's probably something here now, because everybody that's seeing this is reporting the same thing. That's why, back to the League of the Towns and all these groups and the conventions that you're going to next week, in person, it's kind of hard to misunderstand what people are saying in person. Yeah. Not that I think eyewitnesses are, you being a law officer, you know that eyewitnesses aren't the most reliable. But eye to eye, that's where we've lost that with the TikToks and the Facebooks and all that stuff. We don't see each other eye to eye like we used to, and we need to more. Yeah. Because it's real easy to sit behind, the screen and take a shot at somebody, across the room or across the nation with no repercussions, right? But if we're eye to eye, there's accountability there.
I still can't believe that, man.
Well, people are ignorant.
Yeah.
You know what our average IQ in the United States is right now?
Oh, let us have it. What do we got?
84.
84.
The average IQ is 84, and you're mentally almost where you need assistance if you're at 70.
Ooh.
That's a fact.
Wow.
And our IQ level is at the highest or the lowest level it's been in 100 years.
Yeah.
The dumbing down of America is a real thing. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And it's not, I'm not so much into the facts and figures and dates and all that. I think that's important, and learning how to read is really important. Learning how to do math and understand finance is really important. But I want to see, and Edgar Soto and I were talking about this yesterday. Most of our problems are through lack of education. Mm-hmm. People are just not being taught how to problem solve. And I would challenge our educational system, quit teaching to a determined outcome and start teaching problem solving skills.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah, we need to read and write. There's no doubt about it. And right now, nationally, we're at less than 50% can read at grade level, 3rd grade and up. That's a big problem. because I always felt like I'm a reader. Okay, so but if you can read, you can educate yourself on anything. I don't care what your circumstances and situations are.
Right.
If you can read, you can educate yourself. Mm-hmm. If you understand basic math, you won't make I'll call it a mistake. I mean, these people thought they were getting over on the system, but you won't make that mistake because you know that's not a reality. There's no freedom. Nobody's giving away free money. Well, okay, the government does, but banks aren't.
The government gives free money out.
Well, they do, don't they?
They do.
How'd we get 36 trillion in debt or whatever it is?
Going back to this TikTok.
Hey,
thing.
Ron Arenas is in the house.
He is.
Real
Let's
quick.
get a shot of
Let's get a shout out. Picture Rocks Heating and Cooling. Where there he is. Ron Arenas is in the house. Good to see you, buddy.
So CNN did an article on this yesterday on the TikTok thing too. Viral videos of people stealing money from Chase ATMs were just plain check fraud. No kidding.
You know who did that way back in the day? You're probably a little bit too young to remember it. Go ahead.
Hold on. Here's the conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Banks were behind it.
Why would they do that?
Because now these folks are in debt to the bank.
They're already in debt to the bank.
But
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Here's
I'm not about. I don't believe that, but there's stuff coming out now. Like, yeah, these guys were in on it. I'm like, I don't know how they're all at a loss.
No, I don't. I'm not. Here's what this happened.
Because I'm sorry, but because we got to remember something. What comes with that though? A ton of fees.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Overdraft fees.
Oh yeah, I read a number the other day, and I shouldn't even throw it out because I don't remember the number. But,
now, use your sources.
But the check, the overdraft fees and stuff that banks charge is like, when I read it, here they are. They're hitting someone that wrote a bad check, and they're hitting them for, I don't know what it is, $30-$40. So are you kidding me right now? These people didn't have any money in the first place, and now you're going to compound that with. Here's something that did happen. You're definitely too young to remember. I'm trying to remember when this happened, and it was like almost all of them were in on this. And I'm talking about our federal government, definitely the House of Representatives, and maybe some senators. Of course, they all got so much money now they don't have to do this anymore. But there was this big, probably in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. I'm thinking late 80s. There was this check kiting scheme.
Okay.
That the House of Representatives, I know for sure, and 437, let's say there were 300 of them involved in this. They were writing almost the same, they were doing almost the same thing. There wasn't a glitch in the system, but they were writing checks to themselves and covering them with checks to themselves and covering them with checks to themselves. Anybody that's interested, go back and check out the check kiting scheme of the House of Representatives in the late 80s. And most of these representatives at that time, a good chunk of them were manipulating the system. They were writing checks to them. And this was the U.S. House of Representatives. Are you finding it anywhere in there?
Yeah, I'm seeing different.
Happened in the late, I'm saying late 80s.
We'll have to follow up next week on it. Yeah. Do a little more research on that.
But
there's stuff on here. So basically what I'm seeing here is this is from Duke University, their law. Several bank accounts were played off against one another to avoid bouncing any checks and to gain, in effect, interest-free loans.
That's what they were doing.
The maneuvers, which took place over a 20-month period beginning in July of 1980, involved checks totaling about $10 billion.
Yeah. That's your government at work, baby. They just gave them.
So why wouldn't they be involved on TikTok?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. So just to give some people some information about this.
1980?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a little later than that.
July 1980. Hey, that might have. I don't know. Is that the same thing? Does that sound about the same?
I was thinking it was more like the late 80s, but okay.
So here's how the ruse went. Okay, so the banking standard that enables check depositors to have access to a portion of their money before the full total of the check clears. In this case of the viral videos, participants wrote checks for obscene amounts of money and then withdrew as much as they could before the check could bounce.
And then write from another account to kind of cover the difference. And check kiting. It was a check kiting scheme, and our House of Representatives at that time, a bunch of them were involved in that.
Yeah. So what I was reading was the TikTok thing.
Okay.
So it's similar. You're involving checks, but they're not doing not manipulating it in a way as clever as they were in the check kiting.
Yeah.
Because they were covering things. These guys, they didn't do that.
No.
One video shows participants throwing dollar bills in the air with glee, while other posts showed negative balances in their Chase accounts after trying the hack.
Yeah.
The hack. But that was the bank putting holds on their accounts for deducting the stolen cash from their accounts, according to a financial educator. The people that were doing this were seeing big holes in their accounts or huge negative balances. Yeah. Bank errors in your favor are almost never in your favor.
Here's
in the case of the glitch, it was check fraud.
Yeah. The only times I've ever heard of anyone, and it's always one-offs, that there will be, an extra decimal. They'll move a little further to the left of the decimal point, but somebody ends up with, $1 million in their checking account that they shouldn't have, and they draw it out, and they split town. They leave the country. That's the only way you can get it. And that's a one-off. That's not writing a check. That's the bank made a mistake, which they're more than capable of doing, because I've had it happen more than once. Mm-hmm. Just a mistake, and we've credited someone's account with $3 million. Mm-hmm. Take all your money and go to Switzerland, because any other way, guess what's going to happen? I'm not suggesting you do that, by the way.
Yeah. So
they're going to come and get it.
Educate your kids. Because
do the right thing.
This was grown adults too, right? These were people in their 20s and stuff.
But do the right thing. Come on.
Just like, guys, you know what I mean? So when I was a school resource officer, I spent a lot of time with these high schoolers talking about social media etiquette and what's going on there. Like the fact that 20-something-year-olds, and some of them have started GoFundMes to recoup their life. It gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. I want to go around with like a little mallet and just
put a stupid dart on somebody's head. No, when I, with my children or other children, that as with teams and stuff, as I was growing up, and I always hung out with the kids, I had no problem with that. But if I saw a child with something that I knew they didn't bring with them, I'm like, where did you get that?
Yeah.
You need to, wherever you got that, you need to take that back and put it. I'm not saying they were stealing stuff, but you know what I mean? Something left in a park, or where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Well, leave that. I saw something, and this was in, I think, Dubois. And this lady, I'm pretty sure it was, she left her. We're coming into.
Yeah, we're coming up to an ad break.
Go. Let's pay bills.
Well, we'll get that. We'll get back to that.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
There is a lot of digital marketing and digital advertising agencies throughout the US. I see a new one pop up every day. But we stand out because of our community impact, our client relationships, delivering and doing what we say. That's a key thing, right? A lot of places will tell you, hey, we're going to do this. They don't communicate to you. We're in communication with you. You're going to always get that real small business feel from us. You're going to have ways to contact us, ask us questions, right? Because we want you to do better, but we want to be better every day as well. And we're always innovating. We're always coming up with new ideas, new ways to win, applying for new platforms, and even creating some of our own platforms is some of the stuff we have going forward. So I would say that's what sets us apart.
Send it to Clint or me. That's fine. You can send it to me.
There we go.
There he
Hey,
is.
I'm going to follow up real quick on that. Do the right thing. Pretty sure this was in Dubai. I just saw this last week. It was a video a lady did. And she set her purse, her phone, other personal items on this little like brick wall where people were sitting right downtown in a busy city. I believe it was Dubai. She walked and she showed herself walking over to a coffee shop. She had her coffee. She sat there, had her coffee. She came back. Everything she left was sitting right where it was supposed to be. That's the way we're supposed to live with each other, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to walk away. And now that's not a reality. Try that in any major city. Try that in any city in the United States.
Yeah.
Right? Leave your phone, leave your purse, leave some personal items behind. How long do you think that's going to be there?
You've seen those prankers on social media that'll leave purses and stuff behind with explosive ink bags.
Yeah. Or cat feces or something.
Yeah, no, they they're a little crazy. But hey, doing the right thing is important. You know what else is important, and we talk about a lot here? Consistency, man. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are starting things and doing things, and they always. The one thing that just gets like really annoying is how much hype comes with what they're getting into, and it's like you haven't even taken a step in that direction yet. You know what I mean? And it's like. So get started, do your thing, but stay at it.
Yeah.
Don't just bail after, a couple tries. So here's one thing we tell our podcasters here. So we've had a real big influx of people wanting to come and join the program, especially when people started getting wind that we were paying creators that got into the program to come in to do podcasts and stuff. They want in and want in and want in. Well, here's a reality. Most podcasts end at 12 episodes. Not because
if that many.
Not because of equipment, not because of anything other than the people either just they don't want to put the effort in anymore. It starts getting hard there, right? When you get to the 12th episode of something or the 12th program, and Ron can testify to this too, because Ron Arenas has a radio show and he's been doing it for a while. To have content, to have stuff to talk about, and to keep putting in that work and prepping yourself and getting better and practicing. That's a reality of this that people don't understand.
All that's true. All that's
but
factual.
that applies to a lot of other things. Like Raul is a collegiate athlete.
It applies to everything.
Yeah.
But here's what you're going to learn. I'm just going to go old man on you for a minute.
Okay.
Here's what you said. What word did you use? It frustrates you, or
it just kind of annoys. I understand the excitement of stuff, but calm down.
Here's what's going to happen though as you get older. All that's true, by the way, David.
Yeah.
The results come from consistency. If you don't have consistency, you're not going to have results. If you are consistent at something, you will figure out a way to get good at it, if not great at it. That's just a reality. But as you get older, you don't care. Yeah. You know what? If you don't want to do it, then it's not on me. If you don't want to come in here and put in the effort to be one of our podcasters, okay, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's not going to. That's just the difference between age. Because when you're young, and you know what's cool? I get to hang out with David, who's a lot like me, and I look at him sometimes and I'll go, yeah, it's real easy sitting over here. But when I was that age, that's exactly how I responded to stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys? If you want to be successful, just keep showing up.
How about go do the stuff first?
Well, here,
then y'all can hype it up.
I won't get into something, but one of the biggest deals that I ever worked on, one of the biggest deals, thank you, Rick Peralt, for involving me in this. And I probably could have told a lot of people, but I didn't tell. No one knew I was working on this project outside of my immediate family for 6 months.
I want to jump in on this, listeners. He still hasn't told me how much this deal was for. That's how humble he is.
You know, but the cool thing is I already knew how most people would feel. I didn't want to be answering questions every time I went in public. But I wanted to have enough wind in my sails and the only reason why I started talking to people about it was at that point now I needed the community to be involved. But it was at least 6 months, and it had nothing to do with humility or any of that. It's just I don't even know what I'm doing yet.
Yeah.
So why am I going to get other people involved in this that I might have to be accountable to at some point or explain something to them?
Yeah.
And you know what? Championships that we talked about, you know, our defense wins championships. You know what else wins championships? All those nights in the gym when there's no one else in the room with you. All those times in the weight room. All those times that you're doing research late at night or early in the morning or while you're driving. That's what wins championships. Standing up and telling everybody how great you are does not win championships.
No.
Matter of fact, I don't want to say that. I want, if there's anybody saying that we're doing a good job, I want them to say it to us rather than we say it to them. Fair enough.
Right.
Now, if you're pitching something, you obviously have to get people on board. You have to, you know. And I always said the greatest sales job I ever did was convincing David to come and be a part of this. But I never sold you once on it. I just showed you what we could do.
Yeah, nothing.
And stayed out of your way once we started working. Fair enough.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is be consistent here. And if you're already doing stuff like this, like you're already killing, like the people that are killing it, they ain't talking about it, man. Like they're not
too busy killing it.
No, they're not going out and putting on all these posts on LinkedIn about how humbled and grateful they are.
So grateful.
Yeah. So that's okay. Like I want to tell, like I'm talking to my people right now. And you go, who are your people? Like these people that are listening and watching, they know who they are. Like they're the ones that we have conversations every now and then, go to lunch together, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, ignore the noise.
Yeah.
That stuff, don't get caught up in like feeling like that you're inadequate because you see a bunch of people posting about what they're doing or what they're getting ready to do or what they might do. You are enough. You're killing it. Keep kicking ass. Don't worry about those clowns that are out there posting about all the stuff they're doing. If you see somebody talking about how they built a 6-figure company openly on social media and that they're trying to get your attention through that, they're full of shit.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. Yeah. And I'm not gonna.
Oh, and send me $39.95 and I'll teach you how to do it.
Just keep doing your thing. There's so many people in this area right now that are just kicking ass, and I want them to know you're still kicking ass. The people that are gonna notice you or watching you, they're watching you. Right? There's a lot of people that are gonna pretend that they are. There's a lot of people who are gonna get jealous when you're doing your thing. But the ones in your circle, your people. And find your people. Just keep doing what you're doing. It'll all work out.
You know, you said the key phrase there, David, and I'm going to quote an old Journey song.
Yeah.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion. Carry on, my wayward son.
Oh,
love it. I'm talking about.
Love it.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion. I say that to myself pretty much every day. You said it best. Ignore the noise. There's so much chatter. Our phones, our TVs, the radio. Everybody's wanting your attention, and it's just, the noise is just there. You got to learn how to shut that off. And the way you do that is be consistent, doing your own thing. Look, it's okay to look up every now and then and check to see where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's okay to talk to other people to see how they're viewing things. And we mentioned the League of Towns and stuff getting together. That's great. But when it really comes time to make, when the rubber meets the road, as they say, it's you, baby.
Yeah.
It's you.
Preach.
It's you.
Preach.
And you know what? You and I are a team.
Yeah.
Tammy and I are a married couple. But at the end of the day, it's still on me individually. It's on you individually. It's on my wife individually to make these things work, even as teams.
Right. Right.
Fair enough.
Oh, absolutely. Preach. Sorry for our rant there, but it was, we just wanted to clear the air a little bit and let.
That's a little bit.
I've had a couple conversations with some folks lately, and they're down because they're getting caught up in what other people are doing, and it's like you don't even know if they're doing that. Just do you.
You mentioned the word jealousy. Now that's my blind spot.
Yeah.
But it's a good blind spot because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. But my wife, I'm like, why are they doing that? They're jealous. And I'm like, of what?
Yeah.
My effort?
Yeah. No, it's not nothing's as glamorous as you think. Nothing in reality, nothing is as glamorous as you think. Like I like to think like getting to the point right now, like all I think about is just the mud. Like that you had to go crawl through to get, like I don't go, woo! It's like, oh, there's more mud coming.
There's more, yeah.
There's a bigger pit now.
Oh,
it's like, yeah. So it's like, just guys don't get caught up in that. But hey, before we go.
Well, and real quick though.
Yeah.
Real quick. And I agree. The grind, the hard work, all that. You got to do it. 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 And you're doing it for you, no one else. But every now and then, celebrate a small victory.
Yeah, you're right.
It's okay. It's okay. Stop for a minute. Whatever way you do to celebrate, taking your family out to dinner, watching your favorite movie, whatever your guilty pleasure is, it's okay to do that once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's why God created Sundays. And take a day off. God didn't have to stop, but He chose to set an example for us. Every now and then, you need to just give yourself a break.
You're right.
Those are key. You're a weightlifter, right?
Yeah.
You got to give yourself time in between.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
That's when you grow.
Yeah.
So stay at it. Just keep pounding away, but every now and then, just give yourself a break.
You're better than you were yesterday. Mm-hmm. Just remember that.
That's all you care about.
All right, so before we go, I want to cover a couple bad dad jokes because I used to do this on like an old segment. I'll leave the personality test to Chris. But hey, you better have that applause button ready there, Raul. Okay, there's a button on the pads there on the board.
I'm already setting that up for you, dude. I got you. I already know where this is going.
Because even if they suck, I still hope that there's an applause.
I got you.
All right, here we go. You ready, Clint? You got to answer these, man.
Okay, I'm with you. I just see some moron I know calling out another moron I know. Why would you, two grown men, why would you do that on social media?
I don't know. I don't know. Dude, hey, people live on there and, it's political season, so posting is where the key way to change people's opinions on things. So, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's have a little fun here. Why did the blind man fall into the well?
Where's the crickets? You got any crickets in there? There they are.
Why did the blind man fall? Oh, give me the applause. It's not even... Your timing is off, sir. Why did the blind man fall into the well? Got nothing?
I got nothing.
Because he couldn't see that well.
Yeah, really, that was great.
I feel bad about applauding that one. Yeah, it's some dark humor.
Stop it. Give it that pause for a second, Raul. You're not obligated to do anything you're uncomfortable with.
This is for my weightlifters and fitness nuts. Real quick, here we go. What days are the strongest? Saturday and Sunday. The rest are weekdays.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that deserves a little one, I suppose.
Oh. Yeah, this isn't the wheelchair guy. This is a bad one. I'm not doing that one. Okay, here we go. Okay. What do you call a fat psychic?
I have no idea.
A fortune teller. Raul's trying to set it. I was like, we're going to get canceled.
Is Ron laughing at any of these, Raul? I can't tell.
Oh, no, we're cracking up.
Okay.
That's ruthless. I love it.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm stuck between these two here. Oh, man.
Give us both. You got time for both?
No, I can't do this one. It's pretty big. It's pretty bad.
Okay. You know how bad that must be that David's pulling the plug on that one?
All right, I'm going to do two more, okay? All right. My dad always told me, don't be quick to find faults. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was a good man, but he was a terrible geologist.
San Andreas is all I can think of. The faults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the land nerds would understand that.
Yeah. There's another one called the Meridian. It's in the Midwest. I think it's the longest one in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. Some of my Midwestern buddies might help me out with that one.
Oh.
That's rough when you're going through a list of dad jokes and you have to just keep sliding by. They're so bad.
Okay. All right. I'm probably not going to do this. Yeah, I got to bail on that one. I'm reading it and I'm like, I can't do it. We're going to get canceled.
Yeah.
Dad jokes or something else. So I found this Twitter page. It's called Bad Dad Jokes. So if you get bored, and okay, I'll just do this one. This one's for the music people. My son asked me to stop singing Oasis songs in public. I said maybe. Oh, okay, that's too much. That's too much. All right, guys, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna close this out. You know what? If you are out there trying to take advantage of the Chase glitch, cut it out, or any other bank glitch, you won't win.
Yeah.
Grow up. Read a book or two.
And if you're out there and you're busting it and you feel discouraged a little bit, hey, that's just part of the process. I'm sorry.
It's honestly the best part of the process.
I tell you this, it separates the competition out.
Yeah, it really is.
So if you're out there and you're banging it and you feel like you're banging your head against the wall and you're not getting anywhere, you probably are. You just step back a step, take a day off.
Yeah.
Give yourself a break and then get back after it again.
It's all built on the little wins, not one big win. It takes little steps. But you know what? I wanted to do a couple shout outs before we go. If you're looking to get a really good epoxy floor done and you live in Marana or Oro Valley, Dove Mountain Epoxy is the go-to. Make sure you go to dovemountainopoxy.com, check them out, get yourself a free quote. The other thing is the Marana Pumpkin Patch has tickets available now. Get them before they're gone. Mm-hmm. There are only so many tickets available.
No sell out.
There's only so many dates available. Don't be one of the people that misses out. Go and pre-buy your tickets. Don't have to wait in line. The line can get long. Do yourself a favor. Go to MarandaPumpkinPatch.com and get yourself some tickets.
Shout out Ron at Picture Rocks in there hanging out. Picture Rocks Heating and Cooling, and our buddy Daniel over here at Blueprint Roofing.
Yep. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day. We look forward to talking to you soon. Remember, next week we will not be on because Raul is going to take the seat that day and do an interview with Andy Lopez.
Yes.
All
Looking
right.
forward to that.
Let's go ahead and close this out, Raul.
Thanks, guys.